Hi, St. Timothy's families. So kids, I am so excited you're here to join us in our Sunday worship. If you're doing this on any other day of the week, that's totally fine too. You can worship God whenever you want to. So in our video today, it's going to be as follows. We're going to start with our memory verse, and then we're going to move on down and we're going to do a worship song together. So I hope you join me. Find a nice big area where you can dance around and get goofy. After the worship song, we're going to start getting into our message, the lesson God has for us today. After that, we're going to play a game. We'll go over instructions and supplies that you will need. After our game, we're going to do a craft together. You can join me as I do the craft in the video or do the craft later on in the week. After the craft, I'm going to test you on that memory verse. See how many fill in the blanks you can get. And then we'll close with our prayer. Alright guys, enjoy this video and enjoy your worship. Now it's your turn. Why don't you try saying the memory verse? Ready? Go. Hi St. Tim's, welcome to our 5th stop on our road trip. We have covered an entire hand, so today, give somebody a high five to let them know we're at stop number 5. Today we're stopping somewhere special. We are stopping at a special place. It's not a fancy hotel, it's not the beach, and it's not a theme park. But some of the best vacations take us to towns and places you won't find advertised on a big travel website. Instead of taking a trip to Disneyland, Chicago, or LA, sometimes moms and dads pack their bags and travel across the country to the one place they used to call home: Grandma's house. If Grandma and Grandpa lived out of town, odds are you make at least one trip a year to visit them. Grandma's house is a special place full of memories. It's a place where you learn you're not as wild and crazy as your parents tell you. That's because it's a place where you learn that your mom and dad were just as wild and crazy as you are now when they were your age. Grandma or Grandpa's house is the place to see old photos, old family movies, and hear stories about how things used to be. It's where you hear things like, "In my day, we didn't have cell phones or video games," or "In my day, we only had 3 channels on the TV." Today, I actually have something called an heirloom that's been passed from my grandmother. She left for me, among other things, but I carry this one around. This is her handkerchief, okay? And they used to use this if they needed to wipe their nose. Don't worry, it's clean. Or they'd keep it in their purse in case they were sad or somebody else needed help with it. So it's a little handkerchief and it has some blue threading on the outside. So this was my grandmother's, so it's very old, older than me. Buddy actually also has an heirloom that's been passed down from his grandparents, and it's a special photo of them. Your parents, if they have any heirlooms from their parents or your grandparents, see what they've kept that's been passed down from their family. Maybe you guys have a handkerchief lying around. Grandma's house is also home to some of the best cooking in the world. Whether it's fried chicken or chocolate chip cookies, Grandma caters better than any resort you'll ever visit. And Grandma doesn't restrict you to 1 or 2 cookies like Mom and Dad do. They let you go hog wild if you're lucky. Grandma's house is also educational. You see, there's wisdom in all those stories they tell you. Grandparents have a lifetime of experience interacting with people, dealing with problems and tragedies, and navigating through life. If we are wise, we will all go to Grandma's house with our ears wide open. The Bible teaches us to listen to the trusted adults in our lives because they have so much to share with us. We can learn from their successes and we can learn from their failures. Their good advice can help us avoid some problems in our lives and can get us through unexpected challenges. God has blessed all of us with people who want to teach us and guide us to a better life. Let's thank God for the wisdom of our elders and listen to what they have to say. Grandparents are just a few of the many people God puts in our lives to teach us wisdom. Grandparents, parents, teachers, coaches, neighbors, pastors, and other adults can share their experience with us so that we can learn from their wisdom. Today, we are going to see that even Moses took advice from elders. Moses' father-in-law came to visit him in the wilderness, and he had some great advice for a struggling leader. Moses was working too hard. He was putting too much on himself as the leader of Israel, and he was wearing himself down. Jethro saw what Moses was doing, and as an outsider, he offered Moses some great advice. Find some wise men who can take care of the little problems, he said, and then you can focus on the big problem. It may not seem like much, but little nuggets of wisdom like this are dropped to us every day. And not just by Grandma and Grandpa. We can get these nuggets of wisdom from our teachers, coaches, pastors, neighbors, and yes, even from dear old Mom and Dad. When you stop and think about it, God has blessed you with many people who can offer advice and wisdom that will help you through life. If we are truly wise, we will listen to them because God will use them to make our path straight and lead us to a better life. Here's the interesting part of this story. Moses was not a young man when this story took place. He was at least 80 years old. He was older than most of your grandparents, and yet, even at that wise old age, he still needed advice of someone older to help him do his job better. Learning wisdom does not end when we reach adulthood. This story could have taken place at anyone's grandma or grandpa's house, and the advice could vary. Maybe it's grandpa telling you to choke up on the baseball bat so you can hit the ball harder. Maybe it's grandma giving you the secret ingredient to her fried chicken batter. Or maybe one of them tells you about a terrible decision that taught them an important life lesson. Ask any parent, and they'll tell you they depend on the wisdom of their parents, your grandparents, more now than they ever did. Let's be honest. Grandmas isn't everyone's first choice for a vacation, especially if you're a kid. There's more adventure and fun to be had at Disney World or the beach, the amusement park, or the big city. But the wisdom we gain from spending time with our elders will stay with us a lot longer than any t-shirt we bought at a souvenir shop. Parents, grandparents, and other adult mentors are a true gift from God. The wisdom they have shared with us can help us avoid heartache and keep us on the right path. Whether you're visiting Grandma and Grandpa or not this summer, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, even family friends, take some time to listen whenever one of your adult mentors speaks. Learn from their wisdom like Moses did and never stop seeking advice. Alright, my friends, it is game time, my favorite time of day, and this game is gonna get pretty silly, so you've gotta be ready to laugh today. For this game, we are playing something called the Granny Race. What you're going to need for the Granny Race is a ball of yarn or string. I'm gonna be using yarn today that I got at Michael's, and I'm gonna be playing with 4 people, so I have 2 teams. What you are going to do with this game is take your ball of yarn, okay, don't unravel it yet, and you're going to have your person hold the ball of yarn around their chest area like this, and you are going to hold the thicker part of the ball of yarn and run around as fast as you can, unraveling the ball of yarn around your teammate. The first teammate, or the first team, to unravel the entire ball of yarn will win. Now, you, my friends, are playing with a special twist today. Let's see if you notice what's different about us this week. For our craft this week, you are going to be making a handmade thank you note. So you're going to decorate and create your thank you note and then write a really nice note of thanks to somebody you care about, and you can drop it off or mail it if they live far away. Now it's time to test your knowledge. Let's see how many fill in the blanks you can complete from our memory verse this week. Dear God, thank you for giving us people in our lives that provide us with wisdom. Today, I am thankful for and all the wisdom they give to me. Amen. St. Timothy's, thank you for joining me on our 5th stop in our summer road trip. I hope to see you again next week, and don't forget to listen to the wise people in your life.